Hello everyone and welcome to Seeker Gaming. Today I'm going to be showing you the Noros RDA. This came in as a sample and it's pretty banging. So it's a 28.5 millimeter RDA. You can see it kind of hangs over the edge of the rouleau a little bit, but everything else makes that worth it. I can deal with that for this RDA. So what you got here is a giant velocity deck. Let me zoom in and focus. You have a giant velocity deck. It comes with an additional, on the other side, copper positive pin. By default, it'll have two stainless steel. I said pin. It's a post. It's a copper post, but it comes with a stainless steel. All you have to do, if you want to switch them, get this off here. You unscrew that copper pin right there. Underneath that, you have another threading piece that's made of stainless steel. You unscrew that, you pull out the pin, you put a new one in. It's really that easy. So on the sides here, you have Phillips head screws. They're not hex screws or flathead screws. They're Phillips head, which is kind of nice until you strip them, but it's okay. I've also stripped those little hex screws too, so not a big deal. It'll come with a screwdriver that you can use to undo those terminals. I wouldn't recommend using it with thicker wire. This is a 20 gauge build. Oh, excuse me. It's kind of hard to get enough torque with just your fingers and such a tiny screwdriver to get those tight. If you're using Claptons with thinner wire or just thinner wire period, you may not have an issue. Use your own screwdriver though, it's easier, a longer one. I used the one that came in the Coil Master kit. That one was perfect. So it'll also come with a Delrin chuff cap. It'll come with a Delrin 510 drip tip and an adapter for it. Some extra screws, extra O-rings, and stuff like that. I shouldn't even really call it a chuff cap because it's really just a really big drip tip. So you can take this part off right here, and that's your airflow. You just turn it. You got Delrin right there. You got an O-ring, and you just turn it to adjust the airflow. You can always turn it down so that it hits like a regular RDA, but where's the fun in that? I've been using this wide open. The build I have in there is ginormous. It's a 4 millimeter diameter. It's 10 wraps of 20 gauge, and it came to 0.23. So I don't want to get it all over my keyboard, but from back here, see that it heats up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I do need to drip it. It holds a veritable ton of e-liquid. I usually don't paint the liquid on here. I usually just drip like 60 drops right in. It's got a 5 millimeter drip well, so it holds quite a bit. I used almost an entire cotton pad just wicking this thing. I put a ton of cotton in here, and that's just with the cotton just long enough to touch the bottom, really. So yeah, just for thickness and just enough length to touch the bottom, I used almost an entire cotton pad. Everything fits together really, really well. You can kind of hold it. It'll slowly slip, but it's pretty secure. The O-rings are pretty much perfect for the way that I like them. They're really easy to get off, but they don't get all crooked or anything like that. They work just fine. What else can you really say about it? It's a giant 28.5 millimeter RDA with a velocity deck, and you can build giant coils on here. The pulse holes are huge. Not that they even really need to be, because it's a velocity deck. You're only getting one wire per terminal, so you don't have to double up or anything like that. How does it vape? It vapes like a champ. I can even use it up to 200 watts. So this is 0.23 ohms, 200 watts, 6.78 volts. Here we go. The vape just keeps coming. It's insane. I usually don't even use this at 200 watts. I'm just showing you that you can if you build it this way. At 200 watts, for me, I have to kind of force myself to pull as hard as I can. I like to keep it at around 150, and that way, when the wicks kind of go not dry, but when they do feel dry, the wicks are kind of white-ish. At 200 watts for me right now, kind of what happens is it starts to taste dry. It makes that sound after you're done hitting it. And when you look at the coils, there's still liquid in there. There's nothing in the drip well. There's nothing wicking up, but there's still a good amount in the wick. And I like to be able to vape some of that out too before re-dripping. So 150 watts, If you let the coils cool down and then you hit it, there's a little bit of a ramp up time. So, I mean, just hold it for an extra second, maybe not even that, and it'll be fine. And on subsequent chain vapes, it'll be just fine. Heat's about the same, vapor's about the same, but I can pull a little bit slower. I don't have to like as hard as I can. Now, by all means, you can build smaller coils on here. You can close off the airflow. You can vape it like a normal dripper, and in that case, you'll get a lot more battery life. It can hold so much liquid that you won't need to drip as often, and you still won't get any spit back. There's a lot of room between the coil and the top here. I've never gotten spit back. These chuff caps are big enough to where it never runs up the side or anything like that into my mouth, no matter how hard I pull. It's awesome. I mean, the only thing that I don't like about this RDA is that it hangs over a little bit on the Rouleau. Other than that, I mean, even that is 100% forgivable, believe me. Everything else is great. It's simple. There's no fancy airflow. There's no top-down airflow. There's no, indirect airflow. It's just boom, airflow right in the side, right where I want it. That's it. Now, I can compare it to the Velocity if you want to see that, since the decks are similar. I'm going to go out of focus for a minute. Let me get these orientated. So you can see right there, compared to the Velocity, it's huge. It is huge. But that's pretty much what it is. It's a giant Velocity deck. And you can build giant coils. Maybe what else you want me to say? That's what it is. It's an RDA with a Velocity deck. You can put a copper post on there if you want to, or if you're not comfortable with copper, leave it as stainless. Now, this is the Noros RDA. It's made by Metro Vapors and 252 Mods in Texas for Team Legion. There's a 28.5 millimeter and a 22 millimeter version available. So if you want to get similar performance, but you don't have a mod that it'll look good on, or it kind of bothers you being so big, you're going to have to build a little bit smaller of a coil, and you're not going to be able to fit as much liquid in there. But if you want to go extreme, then this is definitely the way to go. Build quality is really good. The O-rings are good. I know there's a black version and stainless steel, so what's it going to run you? If you go to norosrda.com and click on retail, it brings you over to metrovaporshop.com. Regular price for the 28.5 millimeter version is $54.99, which in itself isn't bad. Right now you can get it for $47.99. The 22 millimeter version, regular price is $49.99. The price right now is $42.99. That's a no-brainer, man. If you've got $50, go get it. There's no reason not to. The thing is fantastic. It's just a monster. It's a monster RDA. Even on, I still love the Velocity, and I still use it on other mods like this. Believe me, I'm going to continue to use the Velocity, but I never use it with the indirect airflow holes. I usually just leave the airflow like that with the side holes open, and that's about it. So this, you can get more airflow than even having all the airflows open on the Velocity, but it's all direct. It's all direct airflow. If I didn't mention it before, you do have a little Delrin piece up here. It also doesn't get hot. I can build these giant coils, pump a shitload of wattage through it, and the coils are really far away from the sides like that. So I've tried to put 3.5, 4 millimeter coils in here, and it's just so close to the sides of the metal that when you go to touch it, it's really, really warm. That heat can transfer down into your mod. You can kind of start to feel it. I don't get that at all. Now, it does get warm, but just warm, lukewarm. There's never been a point, even after chain vaping at high wattage, where I can't touch the sides. Even right now, just lukewarm. So it's fantastic. I don't know. The only thing I don't like, other than the hangover, and this is not exclusive to this RDA, and it's maybe just because I'm touching it so much right now, but there's always a little bit of liquid about. I'm always kind of like, let me clean you up. Let me clean you up. Let me clean you up. So I don't know. What do you expect? It's an RDA. That's what happens. So it's the Noros RDA from 252 Vapors, right? I want to make sure I get this right. Metro Vapors and 252 Mods. NorosRDA.com is where you can find the link to buy these. For the price, it's ridiculous. It performs like a monster. The only thing is, if you want to build smaller coils, you totally can, but you're going to have really long leads, which may not be an issue, but you're going to have to fiddle a little bit to make sure you don't get hot legs. We're all experts, right? That shouldn't be an issue anymore. And the other thing is that the coils are really high up from the deck, which means that When your drip well starts to get a little bit empty, it's going to take a little bit for the rest of that liquid to soak up into the cotton. So you can either just turn the wattage down. On my second build, I'm going to try to push those coils down a little bit and see if that makes a difference. The airflow is so big that you can pretty much put these coils wherever you want, and if you have the airflow all the way open, you will get some type of airflow directly on your coil. If you can see, when you turn it, let me focus for you. When you turn the top part, get my fingers out of the way, you can close it off vertically like that, but then there's also this other thing where you can just do that and close it horizontally. See that? Because that's just because of the shape of this. You got open, you got, technically I guess it's half open, and then all the way closed, and you can close it in different ways. So you got all the way open, vertical, you can do whatever you want there, or you can do half like that. So a few different airflow options, super simple to use, super simple to build on. You can probably build anything on here. Any type of weird clapped in 18, 20 gauge giant coils. I mean, it's great. It's great. Now I'm just gushing, but it really is. It's great. So let's do a few more vapes. I'm just going to keep it at 150 watts. So 0.23 ohms, 150 watts, 5.87 volts. It is a 4 millimeter inner diameter 10 wrap of 20 gauge dual coil Canthal. Here we go. It's insane. I really, really enjoy that RDA. So that's it for the review. Please follow Seeker Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. It's all there. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, the button's right down there. If you're a gamer or a vapor, come check out my live stream at least 5 days a week in the evenings at twitch.tv/Seeker127. I vape a lot, play a lot of games, really heavy into the Division right now. So if you just want to come hang out and watch me draw with my pistol on the wall with bullet holes, because that's all there is to do at this point until they update it, come check it out. It's a good time. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. This has been Seeker Gaming.